Lego Marvel's Avengers. This is another Legoized game of a movie series. I like the Lego games so much that I put 2 of them on my top 10 best games that I reviewed last year. I like how they take famous scenes and tweak them enough to take their own takes on them. However, not all movies deserve Lego treatments. And while this game is good, I do feel it's a little padded out and there's nothing to make it stand out from the other Lego games. Since these are Lego versions of Avengers movies, there was not a lot to work from. So that means the levels take longer than you might expect, and the scenes that didn't really need to be Legoized will be done just because they needed to make more gameplay. However, like I said, it is good! And it's also more than just the 2 Avenger movies. It also has scenes from the other superhero movies that are preceding it. So that means you're going to be doing missions that have nothing to do with the Avengers movies, which was kind of cool. They use sound clips from the movies to give the voices to the characters, so the audio isn't that great at times. Although there were times where I didn't even notice, so I think some of the characters just had new actors, or they re-recorded certain tracks. Honestly, I wish they re-recorded them all, with or without the real actors. It was just weird to hear great voices and 8-track versions of the vocal lines of the movies. The controls were okay, they were a bit slippery at times, pretty much like every Lego game out there. But since you have unlimited lives, it really wasn't an issue. There's a lot of characters to play, either in the free play mode or in the story, so learning which characters could do what was a little time consuming, but they do have help icons around to remind you of what the powers of each characters do. Some of the characters could fly or jump high or shoot out lasers, or in the Hulk's case, just smash up everything he could. Now the characters were predetermined at the beginning of each level. You could switch between them at any time by the press of a button. You're going to need to change them often because the obstacles in the levels will require you to. Sometimes you would need to do mini games to unlock the objectives, and while they were simple, they sure could get overused. One of the great things about Lego games is that the levels were made to replay more than once. What I mean is that there are optional things to find that you cannot get to until you unlock the level in free play mode, and then you'll have the freedom to bring in whoever you want. Often one part in the movie will be broken down into multiple little sections, with a boss fight at the end of each one. It got a little tiring to do this when in the movie it might only last 1 minute, it lasts 20 minutes in the game. You can play this with 2 players, but I had no one to play this with me, so I have to assume it's no differently controlled than the other Lego games, where it splits the screen so you can both play in different parts of the level. Like I mentioned before, you can go back into the levels and find collectibles that you might have missed. Or you could travel around the city and do missions, and find hidden secrets around there. The city was actually quite big. There are tons of people to unlock, collectibles to find, and golden bricks to earn. So there's plenty here to keep you entertained for hours and hours after the credits roll on the main story. Lego Avengers was good, but it was nothing special. It felt like a paint-by-numbers Lego game. I wish they had pushed the envelope more and expanded on the concept. There's just really nothing new here that you haven't seen in other Lego games. So this one's going to come down to, do you like the source material? If you're a fan of the Avengers movies, this game will let you strap into their shoes as you play the movies that you enjoyed so much. And if you're up for Legoized comical versions of those movies, then I think that it's worth a buy. Well, that's my review of Lego Avengers. Why don't you check out my last review of the not so bad but not so great Minigame Madness Volume 1, or my classic review of Lego Batman 2. You can follow me at Twitter at Wiiviewer, and I thank you guys for watching, and please subscribe.